Thanks, Karine. Uh, One of the first things that the president did when he took office was rescind former President Trump's order creating Schedule F that would have allowed uh, thousands upon thousands of civil servants to be fired if they were determined to be in a policy-making position. And the administration has finalized regulations that would make doing that harder for a future president, but the president never got behind any of the bipartisan bills that would have prohibited future presidents from reclassifying civil service employees to make them more easily fireable. Does he regret not doing that, considering that President-elect Trump has indicated that he wants to immediately bring back Schedule F and begin firing lots of civil servants?
So what I will say is, and you stated this in your question to me, and I think the president has led by example. You said what he did the first couple of days, couple of weeks, even months when he stepped into this office, into this administration, and trying to protect, certainly, and turning back some of the policies that were put forward. And the reason he did that is because this is a president who believes that public servants deserve to be treated with dignity and respect, because they are working on behalf of their fellow Americans. And so he took those actions because he believed that. And he took those actions because he was able to lead by example in this office. And so I'm not going to get into what the next administration is going to do or not do, but what I can say is really very much into how you led into your question to me is that he respects public servants, and he certainly has led by example from
But
here.
the president, he had a Democratic trifecta when he came into office, and yet he did not put any of his political capital into getting Congress to include in any of the must-pass bills legislation that would have prohibited future presidents from doing what Donald Trump has vowed to do.
Yeah.
And the regulations that the administration has finalized can be undone. They can be unwound, and all of what happened, of what the administration did, can be for naught. Why did the president not, if he respects civil servants so much, did he not put any political capital into safeguarding their status in legislation?
So first, Andrew, I'm not going to litigate each policy, each legislation. I'm just not going to do that from here. And so that is something that I'm not going to get into. What I will say is the president took action. You said it in your question. He took action to undo some of the policies that were put forward by the last administration that harmed these public servants that were working very hard to do the work on behalf of the American people. And he did lead by example. He did. He took steps, and he did that because he believes in respecting and showing some dignity to those workers. And he undid a lot of the harm that was caused, policies, obviously, to these public servants. And I think that is showing leadership. That is showing how you can take action to do the right thing. And so I would obviously take a little offense to your question, but I'm not going to litigate each legislation. You said it yourself in asking me this question, original question. The president did take action. He did lead by example, and I think that's important here. I'm going to take one last question.